What's up, bitches? This is Silent Rob. Bet you motherfuckers didn't think you were ever gonna see me again. Yeah, that's right, bitches. I'm like rabies, okay? You get bit and you completely forget about that shit, and then 5 years later you start fucking. Okay, you fucked up, okay? You should have went to the doctor. But yeah, I'm okay, bitches. Been going through some shit. It's not been great, and finally getting past it. A lot of bad shit, guys. I'm not going to get into specifics. Basically, when my brother moved in here, it wasn't good, and a lot of bad things happened, and he brought with him a blight of destruction that basically just about destroyed my entire existence and had me, out of my mind to sell all my PS1 games and all this other stuff. It's pretty much just like they show in the movies and stuff. But at a certain point, you start to realize you got to get your shit together, and I'm not going to continue down this path. And I did. It wasn't easy, and I'm here, bitches. It's going to take a little bit more than that to bring me down. But I've almost died like 15 times this year. It's insane, guys. I've almost gotten into like 3 colossal, unbelievable wrecks. I was on the highway the other day behind a semi, and a semi fucking stopped in front of me, and like on the on-ramp. So there was like traffic on the on-ramp, and like right in front of me, it stops, and I have like no time to stop, and I like drift around the semi. Dude, I was like that close to running into the back of a semi at fucking 75 miles an hour, and a Honda that's like that fucking big. So almost died there. Bought a RAV4, and the day after I buy it, I end up spinning out in the fucking snow and into a fucking snow ditch. And then I find out that the RAV4 doesn't have any brake lights, and they can't figure out why for like 2 weeks. And then, like, it's just one thing after another with that fucking car. I finally got it going good, but I just get so sick of fucking buying cars and shit. It's a fucking nightmare. But I did sell the Honda, and, it was on its last legs and shit. So that's a thing of the past. Basically, you start that Honda Civic up anymore, and it would just be fucking shaking. It was losing coolant like a motherfucker. I don't know where the fucking coolant was going. You fill that coolant motherfucking shit up, and then in like 10 minutes, that motherfucking shit's gone. It ain't leaking on the ground, so it's got to be going somewhere, probably into the engine. Probably a fucking head gasket leak or a block leak or something. You could smell it. It wasn't good. It was bad. When you smell coolant, get rid of that fucking car, bitches. So I got this RAV4 now. It's in tip-top shape. It's actually an '09 RAV4 with like 130,000 miles, so that motherfucker wasn't driven. So, I'm reflecting on this year in my many near deaths, and I'm thinking, all about all this stuff, when suddenly I get a message talking about Armake has died. And, it really puts things in perspective, and it's really sad. Sad to hear that, especially considering it's, I talked to his girlfriend, and it's, no fault of his own as to what happened. And, I won't go into specifics. A lot of people already kind of know and shit, but yeah, it's really sad. Sometimes people die and they do it to themselves, and they just don't care about themselves. But when you have a health condition that you can't help, it's pretty sad. And when it comes down to Armake, I've said some good things about the man. I've said some bad things about him, and I wouldn't be here right now, if it wasn't for Armake. He's the first one I found on YouTube. He's the one that got me to want to do this fucking shit. And I liked him even better than AVGN back in the day. He has had that raw New York style to him. And, although as time went on, in hindsight, his videos don't hold up very well, but neither do AVGN's, honestly. But at the time, dude, he was a legend. He still is a legend. And I knew I made it on YouTube when I made that Axe 52 video. And I just put a comment on on his page. I was like, if you could watch this, that'd be awesome. He watched it. He said it was amazing. I knew I made it at that point. I collabed with him over the years. And, they say don't meet your idols. And with him, it kind of was like that. He wasn't a very friendly person. He just wasn't. He just had an attitude about him. It just seemed like whenever you were talking to him, you were bugging him. He didn't really care for his fans. He just seemed like he didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when they're interviewing a celebrity and on like a talk show or something, and they're just not having it. That's kind of the way he felt like all the time. But hindsight's 2020. He was probably going through a lot of stuff at that point. I think he was going through a divorce. He was, from what I heard, he was sick. I didn't even know that. He had certain medical problems. So, who knows what people are going through is kind of what I'm getting at. And, that's one of those things where I think back at, shots I've taken at other people and stuff, and I think, well, maybe they're just going through something at that time, and you just never know, bitches. So, I just want to make this real quick, tell you guys, everything's cool in the gang. I'm not dead. I'm going to be streaming as soon as I can, and I still got to stream some stuff that people have given donations for. I think Freedom Planet 2 and some other stuff, and but I'm here, bitches. You can't get rid of me, okay? I'm like that fucking STD you got from that fucking bitch you banged and you wish you never did. That shit ain't going away. It's going to take more than penicillin, bitches. So, Silent Rob, out.